Today I'm going to show you how to sew two square motifs together using the whip stitch. I have a sample that has already been stitched together, and the unique look of the whip stitch, especially we're going to use a technique where you're only going to use the back loops of your stitches. When you do that, your seams are visible, but it adds some patterns that will add to the detail of the construction of the item that you're making. And that is the case in this option. These are squares that were made for the motif cardigan sweater that I have. And the construction with the whip stitch leaves these two lines that make the squares actually stand out and pop a little bit. Okay, I'm going to stitch these two motifs together, and I'm going to be working in the back loop only. I find it easiest if I fold the two pieces together so that the right sides are facing each other. When I do that, it actually pulls this back loop to the top of my work. And I'll kind of try and demonstrate that here. So right now I got both sides. We're going to sew them together so they're matched up like this. And I'm just going to fold this one right over onto the top. So now the right sides are facing each other. Now when I pull this up here, let's see if I can get this glare off. If you can see here, here's the top loop is going to be your back loop, and then the one that's kind of below it is actually your front loop, and that is how it is on both sides. So I'm going to begin by taking that top loop, which I just put my needle right through the middle of it, only grabbing the top loop and pull that through. And that's on my top motif, and then I'm going to put it all the way through on the bottom motif. Just grabbing that top loop. Then I'm going to just come back to the front side again, grab just that top loop, and then just that top loop of the next one, and pull that yarn all the way through. Bring it back to the front side, grab the top loop, go through the second motif, grabbing that top loop as well. So the reason this is called the whip stitch is you're just kind of whipping it around, over and over and over. Always start on the front side, grab that top loop, and then go to the second motif and grab that top loop and pull that over. And then whip that stitch around, grab the top loop of both motifs and bring it through. After you do about 4 or 5 stitches, I'll show you after this one, you're going to want to kind of pull your yarn a little bit tighter just to make sure that those stitches are nice and secure, just like that. You don't want to pull it so that it pulls on the yarn and bunches it, but just a nice pull so that the stitches lay evenly. And then you're going to continue working your whip stitch, grabbing that top loop, which is actually the back loops. I'm just saying top because we're holding our stitches right side up. And you're going to work this all, oops, I already grabbed that one, all the way back to the other edge of the motif. So we'll come back after I have completed all the way down, and I'll show you what that looks like as we open it up. All right, I am working on my last couple whip stitches. There's one, and here's my last one. And work that last one in the corner. Okay, and then again give it a slight tug so that the seam is equal all the way around. And then personal preference, I like to secure it with a knot. I know others prefer no knots in their garments, and that's totally fine. I do a small knot, then I bury my ends going up through 2 or 3 stitches. And then back through 2, working through the fibers of the yarn, and then I'm going to cut my yarn. And now we're going to open up our motif, and as you can see, you've got this nice seam running down the center. Now, different seaming methods are used for different items. Like I say, this one creates a nice seam that actually kind of pops out, which is the goal while seaming these motifs together. So I hope you found that useful and was able to see the stitches clearly. Thank you.